sexy is the... Welcome to Raw is Jericho!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Listen up, you blind slapnut. If I can be serious for a minute.
This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody.
The real reason I came here tonight is because we are live!
We are NXT.
It's your time, folks!
Sweet! A little bit of the bubbly.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
For life.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all of the ages, it's Thursday again, which means I'm back. The Snowman is back on the air, and we are going to be talking about some wrestling here on the Flex Network wrestling side of the world. Man, just a lot of things been going down this week. I mean, some sad news, some exciting, wrestling in the ring, just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I know that right now that Thursday Night Football is on right now. Minshew Mania and the Jags taking on the Fish Boys and Fitzpatrick down in Florida. So that just it's a good matchup right there. Probably some of you are checking that, clicking, oh, we're going to watch that, but we're also going to, tune into this. Or if you're going to listen to this later on, thank you for coming out on the show. But you know how we do this. It is that Thursday time. So it means we are live. Yes, it is. God, it just feels good to come back with another rendition of the Wrestling Week in Review show here on the Flex Network. And boy, oh boy, we have a lot of things we got to get to. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. And surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of news, that's been put out there that's really, eye-catching. So we're going to actually talk a lot more about what's been going on in the ring and what I'm feeling about what's happening on TV. So before we get too into the, talk what's been going on TV, we're going to talk some news with the news report. And unfortunately, we're going to have to start off with this sad note. Yesterday, if you haven't been paying attention that much, with everything going on, if you've been, staying off Twitter, staying off Facebook, and, staying off of social media and everything. Unfortunately, we have to announce that, if you haven't been paying attention, Road Warrior Animal has passed away at the age of 60. Legendary tag team with his partner that's also has passed away years ago. Hawk, yesterday morning passed away. Apparently it is due to natural causes. So I don't know what to say on that. With that part, but yeah, the legendary LOD is no longer. Animal passed away yesterday due to natural causes. It just sucks, really. 2020 is just, really been freaking crazy. AJ chiming in, Rest in peace, Animal. Um, yeah, I mean, this tag team is so legendary. I mean, literally, you couldn't you name greatest tag teams out there, and this was one literally at the top of the list. Literally, just one of the ones at the top of the list for greatest tag team ever. Wrestling, since 1983 as a tag team, all the way through to 2003. On and off every so often. Um, literally, this was a tag team that held almost literally every tag team championship out there. I mean, you're talking New Japan, you're talking the NWA Tag Team Championships, uh, WWE, WCW, uh, literally just they won every like every tag team title that there was to get, you know, in their time frame that they were wrestling, that they were, out there. And to say the least, they had what the business would like to call, you hear their music and you get that loud pop. Like when you heard that theme, that very, very infamous theme of the Road Warriors, and it it just gave them that pop, that big, loud pop. It's known as it's an LOD pop because it was so when they heard that that song, and I'm trying to get it up here for you guys on watching slash listening, but yeah, if you heard this, you heard that was an instant pop right there. Crowd jumping to their feet in excitement. And still, no matter when they wrestled, where they wrestled, it was such a big pop. I mean, this group had literally wrestled, the Freebirds. They wrestled Rock and Roll Express. I want to say Rock and Roll Express. I mean, basically, they basically just wrestled, every great tag team out there. Harlem Heat, Midnight Express, and infamous moment with LOD and Midnight Express with Cornette, hanging off the side of the underneath the scaffold at the Great American it's Starrcade. Jim Cornette literally scared shitless, holding on for dear life, slips off, because he doesn't want to be tossed off the scaffold. And, he's hanging, dangling. Then he just drops like a ton of bricks, busts his knees, and and just injures himself right there. They face the Four Horsemen, just legendary tag teams, up and down. I mean, the Nasty Boys, IRS, like the Godwins. I'm like just naming tag teams that I know of off the top of my head. Steiner Brothers, Sting and Luger, Headbangers, Heart Foundation, New Age Outlaws, DOA. For everyone out there, going, this is, 99, 98, right? Or 98, 99 right here, DOA, in WWF. Then they came back, in 2003, they did a one-off in 03 on Raw with Rob Van Dam and Kane as to take on the Raw Tag Team Champions at the time, or the World Tag Team Champs. And literally after that last appearance in May 2000 or 2003, May 12th, 5 months later, on October 19th, we lose Hawk. So, I mean, literally, these guys literally changed the business for tag team wrestling. They were one of the best, bar none. Close the book. They're one of the best. And it's unfortunate that we, you know, we lose Road Warrior Animal, and it was such a great thing that we got to see in 2011. We got to see the Road Warriors along with their manager Paul Ellering get inducted into the Hall of Fame. So at least three, four, three, 2/3 of the team was alive when this happened. And Animal, I mean, it just sucks to see that and to wake up to hear, oh, Road Warrior Animal passed away. So rest in peace, Road Warrior Animal. Thank you for the great memories. And say hi to your partner Hawk upstairs. I'm sure you guys got unfinished business. Sure you guys can get another match going with Heart Foundation up there. I mean, you got British and Jim's up there. So you got a lot of people up there you can tag team against, guys. Man, that sucks. Moving on. Unfortunately, we got push on through. AEW hasn't kind of had some positive cases of the virus breakout down there at AEW. One of them being Lance Archer. He's going to be off for about 2 weeks while he gets over the sickness, as it's been out there that he has contracted, so he will be, or he may not contracted, so he has been feeling sick, so he is staying home right now. Don't know about Brian Cage, as he said he wasn't feeling good, put that on Twitter, but then he deleted that post. So there may be a small outbreak, and some people may not be seen for a couple weeks while they are at home resting and healing up from the virus. So stay positive, guys, and hope you guys feel better. Naomi is not going to be seen for an unknown amount of time now, even more so because she just had surgery, or I want to say surgery, but she is currently recovering from undergoing a myomensectomy. I want to say that. We don't know how long she's going to be out for, but right now she is currently healing up and in recovery. So get well soon, Naomi. Second week of NXT UK is in the books. And it looks like Pete Dunne right now, while the travel restrictions are going, is now helping with producing NXT UK over there in Jolly Old England. So he's going to be helping out more with the UK brand right now while travel restrictions are still up. So he's still an active wrestler. He's still as part of NXT. He's just now adding on to his to help out and to make NXT UK a little bit better. So that's great to see. And we finally got clarity from the Raw Women's title conclusion from a couple weeks. I want to say actually last Monday, the 14th, with Asuka defending against Mickie James. So apparently WWE officials had decided to stop the match early because they thought Mickie had got a concussion. So while we were seeing Mickie James in the Asuka lock, the officials decide, hey, ring the bell. We're going to end it quick, end it. And that's why we got the confused look of what was going on. So, and why we ring the bell? It's like, and that's why the a little bit confusion because it just boom. So it was just to protect Mickey James as they thought she had a concussion, and if it was, granted, it was a confusing way to go at it. So, but unfortunately, actually, fortunately, Mickey James doesn't have a concussion, so didn't get one from that. So she's good with that. And then last little thing, Matt Riddle, who, if you guys remember, part of the what was it? The Me Too. I have to like go back and like find it in my my notes here from like weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So it's like dude, it's like trying to find where. Oh yeah, sorry. Remember the Speak Out movement from July? Or sorry, yeah, June/July, where we're hearing rumors that Matt Riddle was part of it with the the sexual act, like the inappropriate and sexual problems that were going rampant. That was people were getting accused of with sexual harassment, sexual abuse. Within a lot of the wrestling companies. With women. On the in wrestling and outside coming forward with their accusations on and stories on social media. And of course, Matt Riddle was one of the names. Unfortunately for him, or sorry, not really unfortunate for him, but for his accuser, that she is now going to be getting a civil suit for defamation of character, as Matt Riddle has filed a civil suit for defamation against his accuser. So apparently, it was good enough, for WWE that nothing was found of this accusation. So now Matt Riddle is turning the tables and filing a civil suit. But that is going to be it for the news report. Not a whole lot of stuff going on. I mean, yeah, sad note with Road Warrior Animal passing away, but that's live. That's life, unfortunately. But let's get into what has been going on in the world of wrestling. So, you know what that means is that if you haven't been watching wrestling, you haven't been watching, TV and all that, it's your spoiler alert. Woo! Because when you hear the woo, it's time for a spoiler. So, we're going to start off with a little SmackDown this past week. Gonna talk a little bit about that blue brand. And to say the least, things have still been going in the right way a little bit more. SmackDown's been, getting, bumping up their matches on TV. We're getting some more, continuity with what is going to be actually happening on TV, and the fact that we're not just having like sporadic matches and long promos, to where the matches are going to, there's less matches and more talking, stuff going on in the backstage or even in the ring. So, trying to, get something up on my end. But otherwise, Cesaro taking on Grand Metalik, 1-on-1. Great, good little match right there. Cesaro picking up the victory over Grand Metalik as they're heading into their tag team championship matchup, heading into Clash of Champions of this coming Sunday. We're going to talk about Clash of Champions in a little bit, but actually don't even need this right now. I kind of don't need that right now. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that. It's when I need the other one. Nikki Cross taking on Lacey Evans 1-on-1. And you know what? With Alexa Bliss on the outside, figuring, get some good commentary from Miss Bliss. Was a good match. I'll get, it was a good match. Nikki Cross turning on the switch. While we're still, waiting for the Sasha versus Bailey confrontation, we're gonna get. But Nikki Cross taking on Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, decides, hey, on the outside, well, let's just, start talking to Alexa, act a little crazy, saying the Fiend's name, and instantly Alexa snaps into a little bit of a trance to where she hits Sister Abigail on the outside. And, well, let's just say that it's still fun to see Alexa Bliss, in this transformation, of character to go from, the tag team division right now with, her partner Nikki Cross. Hopefully they're still, tag team together, but, we get to see this, sudden transformation of a more darker feel with Alexa Bliss every so often. But I like it. I like seeing Alexa Bliss like this. It's, changing it up. She's been, doing the talk show host and doing the, tag team wrestling for right now. Let's see where this goes with Alexa Bliss. But of course, Nikki Cross picks up the victory on Lacey Evans in their one-on-one match. AJ Styles taking on Sami Zayn in one-on-one action. Still don't know what this whole craziness with who's the real Intercontinental Champion. Is it Sami Zayn, the one who actually was the champion, or is it Jeff Hardy who won the title after beating AJ Styles, and AJ Styles being the winner of the championship tournament after Sami Zayn was vacant for months, for a while. But it was a good match. Set up for, AJ Styles picks up the victory. And Jeff Hardy comes out, sets up, ladder, attacks both of them with the ladder. And we get a challenge slash, way to end, the debate of who's the real Intercontinental Championship or champion. As at Clash of Champions, we're going to have ourselves a good old triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Oh, and by the way, it will be a ladder match this Sunday. Miz TV, more goading from the Miz and John Morrison on, Otis, from sending Mandy away and trying to get him to focus on being, the next, WWE Universal Champion, as Money in the Bank, winner. And it's like, I'm still not. It's like, guys, come on. I can understand, if you guys were actually in the Money in the Bank ladder match and you guys are just stretching this out, it's like, I can understand that. But seeing as how you guys were not in the match, you have no claim to the title or to the contract, let it die. Just move on to something else. And so, yeah, Otis gets, a little hot temper, comes out, attacks Miz and Morrison. Mostly Miz, stripping him down to his underwear, but finding out backstage that a little bit later that Otis is now being sued by Miz and for the Money in the Bank contract. So yeah, I don't really think this is gonna fly as much. Last little bit. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso taking on Sheamus and King Corbin in a Samoan street fight. We actually had a tag team match this time around. Roman and Jey actually being, teaming up together, not like last week where they were just Jay was, doing handicap style for almost the entire match. Roman comes out, spears everyone, and they went pick up the victory. But it was still good. I mean, Roman and Jay, looking tight as ever, but, especially heading into their championship matchup this coming Sunday as they pick up the victory over Sheamus and King Corbin. So we do know this tomorrow night, Roman and Paul will be in the ring for an interview. Jeff and Sami Zayn will go one-on-one, non-title, of course, with the triple threat coming up. And then, of course, Alexa will take on Lacey Evans for retaliation for last week's Sister Abigail to the outside. And that was the SmackDown. Now, before we head over to the Raw brand, before we, start off and talk about what everyone has been saying / putting out there with everything with Retribution, I'm going to go on record and say that Retribution as a whole, is an interesting concept. I mean, to a small point, to where you've got, WWE, obviously WWE, superstars on the outs who are pissed off with the system and want to take over. Okay. So you got a little bit of, you got majority of Nexus right here of a night, essentially of an idea. And lo and behold, the first thing we get to see, with Retribution now under WWE contracts is a Batman Beginnings reject situation where we're seeing essentially what? Two girls. I mean, one of them we obviously know it's me. Actually, no, two of them. One of them is Mia Yim, and the other one looking a whole hell of a lot like Raquel. Or sorry, have to go back, in my notes. Or no, sorry, Mercedes Martinez. So yeah, we know two of the of this whole group, at least with the women. Now with the guys, to a point, maybe it's probably it's Dominic Dijakovic as ringleader, as the one in the bang looking mask. And trust me, yeah, I'm finding it funny, to say the least, that WWE's idea, for the summer, going into fall, you know what? Let's get a bunch of NXT stars say that they are tired of, the system and, well, they want to destroy it, and recreate their image. And, well, we can't, well, let's give them let's make them look like this. Let's make him look like something straight out of a Christian Bale Batman movie. And lo and behold, you get Retribution as they appeared on Monday night. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this kind of situation / feel, I feel like it has been played multiple times in one with WWE, in the 2010s. One is, another's been played in Impact with Aces and Eights for a good while. And you know what? This time around, the Batman reject version of this retribution look, it's just so crazy. It's just funny to me, but it's just so dumbfounded that you know what that Mr. McMahon. I understand he's trying to he's got to create content. He's got to get you know ideas out there. He's got to get stuff out there for people to see. And while Raw is a chaos right now, looking like a chaotic situation with things not getting done until literally the day of, and new things are being made up on the fly, at least what we're hearing, you would think we would have some continuity with this group. It's like, okay, what can we do to make these guys look and feel like a legitimate threat? Well, it didn't take that long. I mean, yeah, you had the people out, they decided they were going to, on the outside, they were destroying property, breaking glass, windows, acting like a thug group, and then taking over the performance center, and then getting into the building and just doing some more damage. Okay. After a while, it gets a little tedious. But now let's put them in the ring. And let's put them in the ring with the Hurt Business. Okay. They looked, at least the men wise, they looked okay. Keyword, okay. But the fact that you're having them wrestle in the masks. Now, the thing with that is that you have these guys that are more focused on their masks. And by the way, the names for these guys, okay, very, very interesting, to say the least, by leaps and bounds. Literally, it's just so funny how in one idea that let's have these guys, let's see what let's figure out what these guys names are. You got T-Bar, you got Mace, Slapjack for the guys. That's their names. And the fact that while the women, we somewhat know it's Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez, the fact that these guys look just so comedic and and embarrassed, to a point with these Bane looking masks, and just doing a decent amount of job with their match against with the Hurt Business. Granted they won, but Hurt Business wins by DQ, so that just lowered their I their feel of as a legitimate group to be a threat. You gotta win by DQ on your first match, legit first match, a DQ. I did not like that much. It was just like, really, guys, you got this, you're supposed to be this group that's supposed to, take over. You're supposed to, um, you're, you received this unfair treatment. So you're coming up through the system, and you're going to, take over the system and recreate it in your image. Well, again, it's kind of got to step up a little bit on that. I would have been, more impressed had you guys won by pin, and you guys were just, or you made someone tap out. Actually, I would have been more impressed if you made someone tap out. But to say the least, winning by DQ, was not strong. It didn't make you guys look even better. It made you guys look worse, to say the least. And another thing that's been going on that I really, I'm off the retribution for the time being, but the fact that now is the month of September, we are seeing a lot of the same stuff going on that we did in March around WrestleMania time. And not to say that it's not a drag or anything, but to see the fact that now, WrestleMania came around, we were seeing, Angel Garza and Andrade taking on Street Profits Tag Team Championship opportunity. We're seeing Apollo Crews, the Hurt Business, basically the Hurt Business, that idea. We're seeing, just this continuation of stuff from months ago. Let's pick it up at, let's try to continue it now. Months later, actually literally almost somewhat to the same through the summer. And it's not getting any better. I mean, it'd be different if it was different, and then we're trying to finish off stories. We're trying, we're trying to finish it off as we are heading into fall. We're trying, maybe around, so we can get to Survivor Series, or before, actually end it before Survivor Series, and then after Survivor Series, the whole the brand roar, go into the last month, 2 month to get ready for the Rumble, and then make the WrestleMania run where we're just pushing out the stuff to where we're going to get us to WrestleMania season, and then start anew once we get to WrestleMania. I could see that. But to say the least, we're just getting a long continuation of literally the same things, with, at least in my opinion, with Andrade and Angel Garza. That, it's been stretched since WrestleMania, so April. That's 5.5 months. Apollo Crews and the Hurt Business, and Apollo Crews and his buddies, his friend now, and that whole thing. Ray and his family, and versus Rollins. Long months of this. It's just so tiresome of seeing this every week for the last, almost 5.5 months, to say the least, where we're just seeing continuation. Small break, continuation. It's getting boring, guys. On Raw, I get, content, COVID, gotta come up with stuff on the fly. People, we can only have a certain amount of people. We're letting people go. We're putting them on, what's the word I'm looking for? We're putting them on hold. We don't need you, but we're not going to fire you. We're that, limbo right there. It's just like, okay, guys, you have all this talent. You can use these guys to where you don't have to keep them, in the same feud for almost 5.5 months. Okay. Give them, 2 months, switch it out with someone for, a month or two. And then, if they're, introduce them back up again, for a pay-per-view or something, or get something to where, a month and a half into the rivalry, you get, someone get, hurt. They're gone for, maybe a month. We shelve that rivalry for a little bit. Then we come back to it, after they face off, another group faces off and they, do something more. Again, just time management. It's essential if you're going to create, supposed to have, stuff that's going to be lasting for months. Create some time management. Get these guys a break to where we're not seeing the same things and the same story line on and on and on. Even if it's a great rivalry like a John Cena versus Edge, they were going for a good little while to where they would have a match. Okay, couple weeks of hype up for their next match, couple more weeks for another one, then have the blow off. Okay. Or and then they would separate. Or tag team wise. Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, they're going at it. Well, then let's bring in the Dudleys. Then all three, we can get single matches out of, all, with these, 6 guys. We can get single matches, off and on. We get tag match, with one-on-one, and then pay-per-view wise, we can get all 3, or we can get, 2 of them. One of them, the groups interferes. Next pay-per-view, blow it up big time to where we get, all 3 of them together and have a great matchup right there. That's not what these guys are doing. And it's, some of it's been good content. I'll give it that. Profits, Andrade and Angel Garza, they've had some good, moments. But the fact that it's 5.5 months later and we're still seeing stuff from WrestleMania past SummerSlam, it's getting boring now. Really, 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 really boring fast. And the same thing with Ray and the whole Seth Rollins situation. It's getting boring fast to the point where now they had to bring up something from 2005, 2005, 2006. I'm double checking to make sure I'm like accurate, because basically the whole Ray versus Eddie with the Dominic situation. Literally, just they're bringing stuff back, and bringing up to the from the past, and they're bringing up to now forward. But it's like, really, guys? You guys can't come up with something else, something new? I mean, yeah, we've done, the Messiah. We've done, everything we could, to a point with Ray and his son Dominic. But now we're getting to that point where, okay, how do we keep this thing going? How do we keep this thing going? Pull something out. Let's bring back a somewhat modified version of, oh well, Ray, do you not, you have a secret, Dominic's not your son, and maybe a little bit more modified to where it's, oh well, are you sure it's, maybe it's for your daughter? And then it looks like starting up a small situation with Murphy and Ray's daughter. It's I can see a little bit of a turn into that a little bit. So actually it was 2005. So yeah, 2005. Bring back another an old rivalry, concept from 2005, an old storyline from 05. I could see a little bit different work where it's going to be, maybe it'll lead to, okay, Murphy and Ray's daughter, they have a little bit of mutual relationship, they have a little bit of a spark, a little connection, and then, maybe a little date a little bit, to a point, and then revealed, oh no, it was a giant hoax to get you to, get your daughter to join me and, the ultimate sacrifice, and something like that. or swerve to where, Ray's daughter gets hurt and Big Brother and Dad step up, take out Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, something to that degree. That'll probably more likely happen. But it's just this idea and seeing that these guys are pulling out old stuff and seeing if it works now in 2020, and the way that our wrestling fans have, especially that have been following WWE for so long and seeing this, stuff rehashed again. It's like, really, guys? Vince, I understand trying to create content and getting new eyes on the product, especially, and granted, you've had a lot of time to get eyes on the product because you were mainly one of the only businesses left to broadcast new content every week. And yet you're bringing back old stuff. You're, keeping rivalries on for so long that it's getting boring to where people are now either not deciding to watch Raw live, or they see, they watch a little bit of Raw, they turn on and they go, okay, let's see what's on. Retribution. Okay, turn it. Let's go, watch, turn on YouTube for, switch back and forth between Monday Night Football and Raw. Okay, commercial break. Football, Monday Night Football. Let's going on Raw. Rey Mysterio's out. Okay, let's see a little bit about Rey or Seth Rollins. Okay, let's see how far we get before we have to turn. Same thing with Andrade. It's like, okay, we're seeing another Andrade versus Montez Ford. Change. It's like, guys. And I understand it's content. It's just trying to keep eyes on the product, but enough's enough. Got to change it up. Got to get new blood in it. And I agree. And I do see that while Eric and Ivar, the Viking Raiders, are gone, so that's a tag team down. Eliminated right now. At least on Raw. I'm trying to think of at least who else for tag teams right now. No, I don't want wrong one. It's like trying to find the talent. Yeah, cannot find at the particular moment to give you that my little take. But I mean, basically with a lot. Oh, here we go. Personnel. There we go. Found it. So tag team wise, Dawkins and Street Profits. That's one tag team. Andrade and Angel Garza. That's two tag teams right there. Hurt Business. They could go for a tag team, but they're group. But they can go for a tag team. So you got two right there. Or so you got three tag teams right there. Mysterio and Humberto Carlo. That's four tag teams right there. Four tag teams. Seth Rollins, Murphy. That's five tag teams. And then literally, that's it. That's basically the tag team division right now on Monday Night Raw. And yet, you guys, WWE's got Tozawa, Aleister Black, Andrade, Angel Garza, Angel Dawkins, Paulo Cruz, technically Big Show, Big Show's gone right now. Lashley, Alexander, Ziggler, Dominic, Drew McIntyre. I mean, I'm not going to count him as he's WWE champion right now for the moment. Humberto Carlo, Eric, Ivar. Ivar's out for the injury. Jinder Mahal's on Raw, but he's out with knee surgery. Keith Lee, KO. Montez Ford, tag team champion. Murphy, Mustafa Ali, MVP, Orton, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet. I mean, you have people on your roster make some tag. You can interchange a tag team now and then. You can make a new tag team for a short while. If it leads to a rivalry or something like that, you can change it out. And I've already done this whole thing with the female wrestlers. I've already done, talked about them. So it's just, you gotta change it up, guys. You gotta change it up. Obviously that's why you guys are losing viewers on Monday Night Raw. And yeah, I mean, granted, football's back in the swing of things, so that's an effect. But the majority is that you guys have lost your viewers. You've got to get the people back interested to want to see Monday Night Raw again. And if that means you got to change up your tag team division, do that. You got to change up now U.S. Championship situation. Okay, a little bit entertaining, getting some good stuff. Okay, Raw Underground. There's something that's been firing to a point. It's been interesting. It's got some good interesting moments on there, and I'm not even gonna talk about Double KO. I mean, getting manhandled, bitch slapped by Braun Strowman, because that's all it is. It's this: you had this chance to build, get Double KO on a good platform to where he could be, looked at as dominant, someone as a big man, good as a big man, maybe do some more things with him. But to say the least, you had KO bitch slap Double KO in the middle of the ring, didn't do a damn thing. Then on Raw Underground, gets beat by Braun. So I've lost my interest in him already. Unless he comes back and just totally tears up Braun KO, then I'm not interested in Double KO, especially with Raw Underground. Don't care that much. Okay, so now that I've gone on my big rant with what's been going on with Raw to a point, let's get on with the results, or what's been happening on Raw. Andrade and Garza taking on Dominic and Humberto Carlo, and Rollins and Murphy in a triple threat tag team championship opportunity, triple threat match. Winners will face tag champs at Clash of Champions. It was a good match, I'll give it that, with all three groups into it. Mostly the guys were with Dominic and Humberto taking on Rollins and Murphy, that whole thing. And then, of course, Andrade and Garza trying to get back in the tag team title picture after failing to get the titles, and Zelina saying, peace, I'm done with the both of you. But they did move a step forward, as they're going to get a tag team opportunity at Clash of Champions as they pick up the victory. Drew McIntyre taking on Keith Lee for another opportunity for Keith Lee to get into the title picture. But unfortunately for Mr. Keith Lee, he's doesn't look like he's going to be getting it, because McIntyre picks up the victory after Randy Orton interferes and attacks Drew, leaving him out with that lovely RKO again. Zelina Vega taking on Mickie James to earn a championship opportunity at Clash of Champions for the Raw Women's title. It was a good match. I'm surprised. Granted, with everything going on with the previous week with Mickie James, how she gonna come back after that somewhat situation, and the fact that Zelina, this is her first time solo, no one to back her up, no one to cause interference, no one to distract and do all this. It's Zelina Vega one-on-one. And you know what? Surprisingly and interestingly, Zelina picks up the victory. She will get a championship opportunity at Clash of Champions against Asuka. The Apollo Crews and the Hurt Business situation continues to grow as he takes on his former friend and new member, Cedric Alexander. It was a good match. Apollo Crews picks up the victory on Cedric Alexander. Asuka taking on Peyton Royce. Peyton's, trying, now into the singles action, trying to get herself into a title picture with the WWE Raw Women's title. But unfortunately for this night, Asuka wins thanks to Selena coming out and trying to one-up her on getting a leg up for her championship opportunity by attacking Asuka. And then, of course, the big main event, six-man tag, Hurt Business taking on Retribution. And again, I don't need to really describe as much because Retribution loses by DQ as they just, it was a dumb DQ, realistically. Hurt Business, or Bobby Lashley tore it up. Truthfully, he just tore shit up and just dominated essentially almost the entire match. Hurt Business looked great. Retribution got, DQ. All chaos ensues. The entire almost the entire men's locker room comes out, attacks, while Drew's in the middle of the ring, tosses out a couple people. RKO from Mr. Orton to end the night while everyone else is still fighting Retribution on the outside. And that was Monday Night Raw. Sorry, I had to add that. Let's move on over to the black and gold. Actually, let's head on over to Dynamite this week as they are on the road to their next PPV coming up in the month of November, if I was remembering right. Yep, November 7th will be Full Gear, so I have to remember that every time. Miro and Kip Sabian taking on Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela in tag team action. Sorry about that. Miro's first match as part of the AEW talent went great. It was a great match. Miro picks up the victory, or Miro and Kip Sabian pick up the victory in tag team action. And Adam Hangman Page taking on Evil Uno of the Dark Order in, his another singles match for him as he is, looking like to, I don't know what, if he's trying to, try to get himself better again, trying to get back himself on the right path, or, and trying to get Kenny's attention to where, hey, we can still do this. I don't know, but he's in one-on-one action, and Page still looks damn good in his match with Evil Uno as Page picks up the victory. TNT Championship opportunity for Orange Cassidy taking on Brody Lee for the title. And you know what? Right now, Brody Lee is one hell of a juggernaut right now for that TNT title. It was a great match. Orange Cassidy, I thought, he's had an opportunity. He had some good moments. But unfortunately, Brody Lee picks up the victory. Cody Rhodes is back on Dynamite, looking like he wants another shot. He wants to take that shot at the TNT title again. This one was interesting to say the least. The AEW Women's Champion Haruka Shida and the NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa taking on Ivelisse and Dynamite on. I want to say it's Dynamite or Demonte. But either way, the two women's champions that are currently on the roster, tagging up to take on the winners of the women's tag team tournament. And damn, it was a good match, guys. It was a damn good match. As the champs pick up the victory on this night. On Wednesday, it was Wednesday. As it was a late. No, was that? I want to say last week was last week was the late night one. So it was back to normal this Yeah, last week was the late night one, then past week. So, all right. You watch a lot of wrestling, you kind of get, like lose a little couple of days of what it was. And then, of course, main event time, AEW World Title on the line. Jon Moxley taking on Eddie Kingston. And Moxley still running roughshod at that AEW World Title. Great matchup to see. Great matchup. You wanted to watch. It was great. A lot of chaos and calamity at the end. Setting up for future rivalries, future stories down the line, which is going to be great to see on Dynamite. But that was AEW for the week. Head on over to the NXT side of the world because we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on NXT as they're heading, building up for their Takeover 31 literally in next weekend. Not this coming weekend, because there'll be Clash of Champions, but the following Sunday will be Takeover on October 4th. So that literally it's gonna be fun. This week was takeoff to NXT Takeover. We had ourselves a battle royal to determine number one contender for Io Shirai's championship at Takeover 31. Hopefully this is a story, version, but seeing that Tegan getting her knee injured, I am hoping that it is just story related. It's not legit. It's not, a real injury again, because this girl has just been plagued with knee injuries. Literally, if you watched her story, literally, it's just she is a fighter, and the fact that she has come back from 2 knee surgeries in literally the best way possible. I mean, literally, Mae Young Classic, literally, 2018 tore ACL, MCL, lateral or LCL. Literally, she was just literally tore up. Comes back, gets another injury on her another knee. Literally, it's just been crazy with her, to say the least. That her knee just does not like her that much. But hopefully, that it's just story wise, as I want to see Tegan Knox become world, WWE or NXT Women's Champion. She deserves it. Battle Royal was great action with these women. Got to see crazy Kofi Kingston like preventions for elimination, returning to the ring with Catanero. But Candice LeRae picks up the victory. She is the number one contender and will face Io Shirai at Takeover for the women's title. The Psycho Killer Tommaso Ciampa taking on Jake Atlas. One sec. In one-on-one action. Great matchup with Tommaso Ciampa. I'm loving this new side of him right now, just silent and violent. And that kind of reminds me, someone who was just silent and violent. It's kind of a member of the Four Horsemen, a little kind of a Canadian crippler, just right there with that Christmas. Oh, wait, no, did I say it right? It wasn't just Chris Benoit. Yeah, I did say it right. It was Chris Benoit. But yes, silent, violent, psycho killer Tommaso Ciampa picks up the victory on Jake Atlas. Weird tag team matchup we had. We had members of the Birch and Oni Larkin tag team, Undisputed Era and the two members of Phantasmic Day. I cannot say without looking at it. Legado del Fantasma. Sorry. So literally, we had members from the two members from Undisputed Era and Danny Burch and Oni Larkin taking on members of Den Phantasma. Winner team would get a future tag team number one contenders match. So we got to see Danny Burch and Roderick Strong taking on members of Den Phantasma. I don't know how it worked, but literally they got it done. And we got to see Danny Burch and Roderick Strong pick up the victory, and they will. Art is just making sure I. Nope, sorry, Art. Sorry, it was Imperium and De Phantasma for an opportunity for the tag team titles. I was just trying to remember exactly if I had the right tag team name right. But yeah, so 4 tag teams represented in this one match. 2 are going to get a tag team title shot, and it will be Larkin and Burch taking on Undisputed Era probably this coming week to determine number one contenders for Breezango's tag team titles at TakeOver. Damian Priest taking on Austin Theory. Literally, North American champions been looking great since we can win the title, knocking off Timothy Thatcher, looking to take on, obviously going to be heading towards TakeOver to take on Johnny Gargano. Damian Priest picks up the victory. It was a good match for Mr. Priest. And then Ridge Holland Rich Holland taking on Antonio de Luca, I want to say. Rich Holland. I want to say Hollanday, but it's Holland picks up the victory in that matchup. And then the Gauntlet Eliminator match main event was awesome. Literally, Kyle O'Reilly ran that gauntlet to death, literally, and he is going to get a opportunity to face Finn Balor for the NXT title at TakeOver 31. This next week, we're going to see the North American champion and the women's champion tagging up to take on Gargano and Candice LeRae. It'll be the NXT champions taking on their TakeOver opponents next Wednesday. And then Shotzi Blackheart will take on Dakota Kai in one-on-one action. Let's quickly head on over to the UK side of the NXT world. The United Kingdom champion Walter in action taking on Saxon Huxley. Damn, literally, this is why UK champ Walter is a beast. Walter kicking butt, picking up the victory. We had the draw for the Heritage Cup tournament. Joseph Carners will take on Dave Massive in one match. Whoever's going to be the wild card entry will take on Trent Seven. Flash Morgan Webster will take on A-Kid. And then Alexander Wolf will take on Noam Dar in the first round. We found out that next week will be there will be a special guest ref in the Noam Dar match versus Alexander Wolf. It will be Pete Dunne. And then there will also be a triple threat match to determine the wild card spot to take on Trent Seven. So, and we don't know who the 3 mystery people are going to be. Pretty Deadly taking on The Hunt in tag team action. Pretty Deadly picks up the victory. It was a good tag team match right there. And then the UK women's title on the line. Kaylee Ray defeating Piper Niven to retain the title for Kaylee Ray. It was a great match with the women. That was NXT UK. We're going to run down the card for this coming Sunday at TakeOver. Or sorry, no, not TakeOver. Clash of Champions this coming Sunday. Raw Women's title will be on the line. It will be Zelina Vega challenging Asuka on the pre-show. Bobby Lashley will defend the U.S. title against Apollo Crews one-on-one. Street Profits will defend the Raw Tag Team titles against Andrade and Angel Garza. Triple threat ladder match for the IC title. Jeff Hardy will defend against AJ Styles and Sami Zayn. Winner take all for the Intercontinental Championship. Cesaro and Shinsuke defend the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Lucha House Party. The women's tag team titles are on the line. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler taking on the Riot Squad's Liv Morgan and Ruby Riot. And then the SmackDown women's titles on the line. Nikki Cross gets another shot against Bayley. And then the two main event matches right here. For the Universal title, Roman Reigns defends against blood cousin Jey Uso. And then in an ambulance match for the WWE Championship, it will be Drew McIntyre defending against Randy Orton. The only way to win is to stuff your opponent into the ambulance. Close the doors. And that is how you win the WWE Championship. Let me just make sure that's everything I have for this coming week. Or literally this coming week. For matches. Yeah. And then, of course, what we know so far for TakeOver 31, NXT North American title will be on the line. Damian Priest taking on Johnny Gargano. Women's titles on the line. Candice LeRae taking on Io Shirai. And then the NXT titles on the line. Finn Balor taking on Kyle O'Reilly. It's going to be looking sweet coming up this next weekend, next Sunday. But before we peace out for the week, last little while been doing some actually promoting or / hyping up the G1 tournament. I will stake my claim to this, that if you are looking to see some great wrestling, some hard-hitting wrestling right now, I urge you guys to go and check out the G1 tournament going on in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I urge the heck out of you guys to go check that out. Literally, we are 4 days into this tournament or this round robin style tournament, and there's 18 more. It's a total of 18 days, guys, from the 19th of September to October 18th. We're already through night 4. The next show, the next chance to catch the tournament is going to be on this literally Clash of Champions early in the morning on Sunday. So, for people on the West Coast, it'll be like 1 o'clock in the, maybe 1, maybe midnight in the morning on Sunday. So yeah, guys, it's going to be awesome. Check it out. Night 5 is going to bring you some great action to check, from the A block. Literally, I cannot say it, literally the two top matches that are going to be awesome is going to be Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi. And then, of course, Okada taking on Jay White. Literally, that's going to be a great match right there this coming Sunday. Standing so far for the G1 tournament. For Block A, we have a three-way tie with 4 points at the top of the leaderboard. Remember, the top man from each block will go at the end of this tournament. Will face each other one-on-one. Winner will be facing the IWGP Heavyweight Champion at Wrestle Kingdom January 4th. Is going to be a freaking awesome way to kick off the new year, guys. But yeah, we have a three-way tie with Tachi, Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay and Jay White are sitting at 4 points. Block B, another three-way tie for first. Juice Robinson, Tori Yano, and Naito, the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion and Intercontinental Champion, is sitting at the top 3 right now in Block B. And interestingly, with this whole thing, if Tatsuya Naito, the current heavyweight champion, wins the G1 tournament, if he wins, he then gets to decide who his opponent will be. Literally, how interesting is to say the least. You get to choose your own opponent, who you're going to face at the biggest pay-per-view to kick off the new year. That is just awesome. So literally, this is going to be something fun. Literally, the G1 tournament. It's always been fun to watch. The last several years, great action, heightened drama. Literally, and we're only what 1, 2, 3. We're only 4 nights in. We're only four days into the tournament. We still got the 27th. We still got the 29th, 30th of September, the 1st of October, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of October, 10, 11, the 13th, the 14th, the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. This is going to be a great tournament for you guys to go check out. Make sure you guys go and check that out on NewJapanWorld.com. Literally, it just, you guys can go and sign up. It's $10 to sign up and be able to check out all this content. It is awesome. But that is going to be it for me this week. Any last little nuggets that I need to go through before we close out this shizzo for the week? Do I want to do another pay-per-view look? Actually, let's do one last let's do another pay-per-view. It's still feeling like the summertime right now, so you know what? Let's throw in, let's get you guys a good pay-per-view to go check out for the summer. To where, maybe you guys are still a little, don't want fall necessarily to start. You don't feel like it's fall yet. And you still want to hold on to that summer feeling for a little bit. Well, how about we do this? We're going to spin the wheel to pick out a summer slam for you guys to go check out. We'll probably start next week with our fall ideas, get you guys in that fall mood. Maybe there'll be some Hell in a Cells, some War Games, maybe Clash of Champions. I don't know. I'll figure it out for you guys. But let's spin the wheel quick. Round and round she goes. Wherever she stops, nobody knows. Oh, we're going to go 96 SummerSlam. That one was a good one. Like, literally, this one was a good SummerSlam. 1996, Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, this pay-per-view, to say the least, was a great, a good pay-per-view. Actually, you know what? This one was a great pay-per-view just because, number one, the Boiler Room Brawl with Undertaker and Mankind. This was freaking awesome. Literally, destruction, chaos. Hot coffee just getting tossed around like there's no tomorrow. Betrayal. You want it all. This had it all with the Mankind taking on Undertaker in the Boiler Room Brawl. Austin taking on Yokozuna, but that one, it's on free for all. I don't think they have that one shown yet. Owen Hart taking on Savio Vega. Smoking Guns taking on the New Rockers, the Godwins, and the Bonnie Donnas. Fatal 4-way elimination match for the tag team titles. Psycho Sid, taking on the British Bulldog. Goldust taking on Mark Mero. The King taking on Jake the Snake Roberts. And then, of course, for the main event, the show-stopping number for the WWF heavyweight title. Shawn Michaels taking on Vader. It's time. It's Vader time. That was a damn good pay-per-view, guys, for you guys to go and check out. Not a bad way to end the summer, the summer wheel right there for you guys to go check out for pay-per-views to go check out on the WWE Network. But yeah, that is going to be it for me this week. Last little notes, house cleaning tidbits. Let me get into that. Stand by. Okay. Whew. Actually, no. That was kind of dumb. All right. So before we head out, be sure to follow, like, subscribe to everything the Flex Network is putting out there. You can find us on Facebook. You can find literally the wrestling, the fantasy football, the football content. We're on Facebook. So go and like and share and subscribe to that. We are on Twitter. If you are a fantasy football lover, football content, carnivore, be sure to follow us at the Flex Network 1 on Twitter. If of course, you're here for wrestling, be sure to follow and like and subscribe to us on the Flex Network's wrestling side of the world at FlexNet_PW Elite. We are on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube, Flex Network and Flex Network Wrestling for your wrestling and football content needs. We're there. We're on podcasts. If we're not on a service that you listen to, let us know. We'll get there, because right now we're on Spotify. We're on Apple. I believe we're on Google. But make sure you guys like and subscribe and follow us all over. Sunday. Sealy, or I want to say Flex Matt, maybe. I know Alan Seslowski, Sealy Shane, they handle your fantasy football content on, of who you guys should be looking for, who you guys should be benching, sitting, starting. Check them out on Sunday mornings to get you guys ready for your fantasy football, consumption so you guys can get your info correct so you can win your week. Wednesdays is our NFL weekend review show, and I'm on it. My boy Flex Mike is on it. Cowboy Cam. And we talk about what went down in the week, and we make some picks and look ahead to the next weeks. So literally right now, as soon as I'm about done here, I'm going to go check to see what the score is of the Jacksonville and Miami Dolphins game. So I'm going to go check out the Jags and the Dolphins game scores, see how I did this week so far. But that is on Wednesdays, the NFL Weekend Review Show. And then I'm back here on Thursdays for your wrestling consumption, your wrestling info. as we'll be back next week for your Flex Network Wrestling Weekend Review show. But that is going to be it for me. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to everything we do. So, to close out, I am the SnowMan. This has been another great week. It's been another great week, but obviously with the sad tragedy of the animal passing. But it's been another great week here on the Flex Network. Make sure you guys have a great, make sure you guys are staying safe. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. If it's sunny where you're at, enjoy some of that last minute summer fall mix. But otherwise, stay safe, you guys. And I am out of here. Peace out.
This has been the Pro Wrestling Weekend Review Show.
We got some fellow Canadians.
But when you're from Calgary,
Where's that?
Alberta, Canada,
A one-way first-class ticket to Larryland. What is it with you folks coming to Florida? Stay in your own country. This is the Flex Network. This is the Flex Network. Flex on them. Flex on everybody. Right here. Why me? Why me? Why me?
don't blame Canada, blame yourself.
Feels like showtime every minute to me. I can't help it. No. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ta-ta for now.
We're out of time. Good night on Nitro.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Well, you're welcome, Jurassic Slap Ass.